Hello and welcome to a new episode of Silly Point. We're going to continue our coverage of the India-England series and preview the ODI series after a very close T20 series. Let's see what happens now in the one-day format. England are yet to announce their squad, but we can predict and see, depending on the players that are available, assuming that they have the same T20 squad for the ODIs. So as always, we've got G here with me. So G, what do you think? Another interesting series coming up?
Yeah, I guess obviously it's not an ODI World Cup here.
Yeah.
So you could, I guess maybe England might decide to, keep their T20 players on and just pick their ODI team from their T20 players. That might be a way to go rather than flying in someone like Joe Root back to India. Allow him to rest a little bit. Because I know that England have got a very, very busy year ahead with 17 tests this year. And maybe the Ashes at the end of the year and the T20 World Cup. So a lot coming up for them. And with India, I guess they've gone with, a few T20 players, a few, new players in the squad as well.
Yeah.
So, I think both teams will just look to maybe fine-tune their T20 plans.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. But that does mean it's not going to be competitive.
Yeah. Now we've seen in the T20s as well, the other players have been, especially from India's point of view, they've tried their bench strength and, a lot of players have performed. So there's both teams are very strong, not just the 11s, but the whole squads, So
I think India's story since the Australian tour or during the Australian tour as well has been around bench strength, and again that's just getting proved that got proved in the T20 series.
Yeah, I think this is just my personal opinion. I think India have one of the strongest squads.
Yeah.
But England have the strongest 11. Starting 11.
I mean, I guess if you look at England's key players, they're very, very strong. But then some of the backup players, even in their starting 11, they're a bit iffy. So I think that's where England lack a bit. Whereas India, I don't know, it's just about form. If players are in form, then they'll do well. If they're not in form, they won't. Like India's overall squad and bench strength is, I think, slightly better than England. But then England's first 11, few of their key players are so strong, that they can win you a game in a matter of overs.
So. So we just go to the predicted 11s.
Yep.
For India, straightforward, I think top 3.
Yeah, no, can't see much change there.
Dhawan, Sharma, Kohli.
I guess the only thing that India could try out is probably, switch out Shikhar for a bit with Shubman Gill.
Yeah.
Because Gill, I guess, is in the squad. Or again, to give KL Rahul some time in the middle. You might open with Rahul and Rohit. I don't know. But I think as a starting point, it's still going to be.
It has to be the usual 3.
Dhawan, Rohit followed by Kohli at 3.
And then Shreyas Iyer at 4.
And then Shreyas at 4, yeah.
And KL Rahul at 5.
And KL Rahul
at
5.
Which means no place for the deserving Sky.
Well, you still have number 6 because most likely Pandya will bat at 7.
How would you put Sky at 6 is like insulting to him.
Well, he's been, I guess, I mean, in the last couple of IPLs, he's been batting up the order for Mumbai Indians. That's fair to say. And even when he plays for Mumbai in domestic cricket, he does bat up the order. But then there's no, I guess there's no space for him. Even I know he batted 3 in the T20 series. In his second game where he scored the 50. But realistically, his best shot is batting 4, 5, 6.
Well.
And sorry, are we discounting Rishabh Pant?
No, I was going to say he has to be. He'll probably play at 6, right?
He's going to play at 6.
So I mean, Sky is like literally nowhere then.
Yeah. Then Sky has to be, unfortunately, one of the backups, but a great backup to have, right? He's certainly better than the likes of Sanju Samson and Manish Pandey.
Yeah, maybe eventually they might rotate and drop Dhawan.
Yeah, of course.
Push KL Rahul up and have Sky. 4 or 5.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then Hardik Pandya at 7.
At 7, I mean,
the problem with this balance is that he has to bowl 10 overs then, right?
So, he has to bowl 10 overs, I guess it's fine. I mean, I can't see anyone else bowling, right? Maybe Rohit Sharma can bowl his hand and Virat can bowl a few overs.
Yeah, but
But I mean, again, if you had Ravindra Jadeja, then
Yeah,
you could
then
bat,
it's easy.
Pandya at 6 and Jadeja at 7. So,
Yeah,
but I think with this team, you're probably going to go Pandya
yeah.
at 7.
And then you have your two spinners, Yuzi and Sundar,
Probably, yeah,
or
Washington
Kulcha.
Sundar, Washington Sundar and Yuzi Chahal. I mean, Chahal hasn't had a great time in the T20s.
Yeah,
Um, so I don't know. There's also the option of going with Krunal Pandya, maybe, who's one
yeah,
of the new faces in the ODI squad. So again, an opportunity maybe for him to, you know, uh, press for his place in the T20s even, because
yeah,
Aksar didn't have such a great time of it. So maybe an opportunity for him there.
yeah.
Um,
But still need a leg spinner or wrist spinner, right? So either one of Kuldeep or Chahal has to play, and then
yeah, I guess. Yeah. I mean, is Kuldeep in the squad? Yes, he
yeah,
is. So maybe they go with Kuldeep and Washington Sundar to start off with,
yeah,
and then as the series progresses, they can probably swap Sundar with Krunal
yeah,
and Chahal with Kuldeep.
yeah. No, that makes sense. And then I guess Kumar will be one of the fast bowlers.
Certainly agree. I mean, his bowling in the
Yeah,
T20 series was really good. So I think he's getting there, and it'll
yeah.
be great to have in the T20 World Cup. And he's a good bowler, so I think he's certainly going to start.
And then the last one, I don't know anyone. It could be Natarajan. Surprisingly, he hasn't played in the T20s.
Well, he was actually injured.
Okay, right.
He was out injured, and then he's joined the squad now. He's come out of quarantine, so yeah, he didn't play because he was injured, but he's
Because
back in
he's
the
the sort of
ODIs.
like for like Bumrah replacement. Only he's left arm obviously, but he can
Yeah,
bowl the same
he
Yorker
can bowl
type length.
Yorkers. Yeah, he
Yeah,
can bowl the Yorkers at the death.
death
Yeah,
bowling, right?
I guess I would probably say it'll be one between Natarajan and Thakur.
Yeah,
Obviously, Shardul Thakur has the batting ability.
mm.
Um, uh, he has the batting ability, and he does decently in the death. He's got
yeah.
some
He's
range,
shown that in the
but
T20s. I think his slow cutters have been very
yeah, effective.
deceiving to the batsman and very effective.
Yeah,
But yeah, maybe for one day, he needs a slightly more attacking version bowler.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I'd go with Natarajan to be fair.
yeah,
Yeah, I'd go with
yeah,
Natarajan. And
but
I'm really liking Mohammad Siraj in the squad as well.
yeah,
I think he's a really good all-round bowler.
yeah,
So, happy for him to get that chance in there.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
well deserved. Definitely, he
yeah.
definitely deserves a chance.
Whether he plays or not, we don't know. But yeah, I guess, one exclusion that kind of doesn't make sense that they haven't talked about much is someone like Navdeep Saini. You know,
Yeah,
unless he's injured, I don't know why he was dropped.
yeah. I'm surprised as well. I thought he would be. I thought he would be one of the
Yeah,
picks, but
not to be.
not especially because given that he hasn't played either. It's not that he's played
Yeah,
and not
yeah.
performed and
Maybe
dropped him.
maybe that was the thing, right? Maybe they wanted him to go and
Yeah,
rest or take rest
fair,
or get sorted if he had any niggles, for example, get sorted out with that. So
fair.
maybe that makes sense. But yeah,
Yeah,
again, as always, India's bench strength is phenomenal.
yeah,
Missing at least two or three first choice players in this team, in this ODI team,
yeah,
likes of Jadeja and Bumrah not there, Shami
yeah,
not there. Three key players are missing. So, in spite of that, we're able to put out a pretty strong team.
yeah. No, it's definitely a very strong team, very good balance. I guess the only weak link is just five bowlers with
Yeah,
Pandya being the fifth bowler. I think he's
yeah,
four overs is okay in T20, but with his
yeah,
fitness, I'm not sure if how he
yeah.
can sustain 10 overs. Given that I don't think he's bowled 10 overs in an ODI for a long time.
Long time. I agree. I mean, the only other thing that India could potentially do is maybe drop someone like Shreya Iyer or
Yeah,
Rishabh Pant, one of them, and then maybe play Krunal and Hardik together because both
yeah,
of them are pretty strong batsmen,
yeah,
and they can give you 5 overs each. So
yeah,
that could be one way to go if they wanted to
yeah,
protect Pandya, but I doubt that will happen.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
they'll mix and match with maybe Shreya Iyer or Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli filling
yeah.
in.
No, makes
Um,
sense.
yeah. England,
England, I think, straightforward, relatively straightforward, very similar to the T20 squad, I'd say.
yeah,
Maybe batting orders might change.
yeah,
So I think they'll open with
Besto and Roy.
Bairstow and Roy, of course.
No questions asked
Yeah.
there.
No Joe Root means that maybe Milan might play a three then.
You know my take on Malan. I'm pretty sure on what I think about him. But if England have decided to back him for the T20 World Cup, then makes sense to bat him at 3.
But there's no one else that who can play at number 3, right? If there's not
There's no
Joe
one
Root.
else. I mean, there was talk about Ben Stokes batting at 3.
Mm,
Maybe, I don't know, but I guess if, well, the other option could be someone like Liam Livingstone.
yeah, but I mean, he's also a lower order batsman, isn't he?
No, he's more of an opener. At least in
Okay.
T20s,
Yeah.
he's kind of he's an opener, and he gives you a spare leg spin option. So maybe him at 3, maybe.
Okay. No,
But
I
but I
think
think I think
yeah,
most likely they'll go with Malan. If England carry on with the same squad, then
yeah,
it'll be Malan. I think give him
yeah.
give him more of a rope, right?
Exactly right. So Malan will play 3, then Morgan at 4, Stokes at 5,
Billings at
Butler,
6.
Billings or Butler at 6.
Well, sorry, I guess Butler at 6. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah,
Yeah,
England will need 6 bowlers.
yeah. Butler at 6, and then Sam Curran.
Do you think Moeen will get a chance in the ODIs?
He might get one, might get a game. I think he would have played the last T20 or may play the last T20 if England would have won the series.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
yeah,
I doubt they will actually. I
yeah,
think they've kind of not played him a lot in the T20 either, so I don't really see why they would change that strategy unless they want to give him game time.
yeah. Fair enough.
Um, but yeah, I mean Sam Curran probably is the obvious choice at 7
Yeah,
then.
I agree. Sam Curran at 7, followed by Adil Rashid at 8,
Yeah,
Jofra Archer at 9, and Mark Wood at 10. And I guess the only outstanding is, who plays at 11,
yeah,
who's the third bowler. Obviously, Jordan is the incumbent in the T20s.
yeah.
The question is whether you go with him or you want to try out someone else.
He's
Uh, you know,
probably
Sorry, yeah, maybe Reece Topley as a
yeah,
left-hander. Just give some variety there. I think, yeah, that sounds like a good option.
yeah. Or Moeen Ali can bat at 7 or 8, and then everyone moves one down.
Maybe, yeah,
That way
that
you have Moeen and Adil, and then you have Sam Curran, and then Archer and Wood.
would, yeah. I like that balance more.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm really surprised that England went in with 2 spinners. Well, in the T20 so far, they've gone with one, but even in their squad, they've only gone in
yeah,
with 2 spinners,
yeah,
and that's a bit of a surprise to me. Maybe someone like Liam Dawson would have done well, but I believe he's injured.
yeah,
Maybe that's why he wasn't in the
yeah,
squad. But yeah, again, if you look down that list, you've got 4 or 5 very very strong players, the
yeah,
likes of Roy, Besto, Butler, Stokes, Morgan, Adil
yeah.
Rashid, Archer, Wood. So you've
Wood,
got
I
like,
think Wood has really improved a lot. I think
yeah.
he's become very very effective.
I think he's always been that good. I think it's just because he doesn't play as often. So
Yeah,
if you remember, if you go back to the 2019 World Cup as well, he was
yeah,
phenomenal, right?
yeah,
One of the reasons why England did so well is because of the combination of Archer and Wood.
yeah,
And it's just that England have taken every opportunity to rest either Archer or Wood in the T20s,
yeah,
for example,
yeah,
and even in the ODIs. So I think he's always been good. Okay,
yeah,
Test matches, let's ignore that. But
yeah.
T20s, ODIs, Archer
I
and Wood
agree.
are a lethal combination.
I agree. No, definitely, he's been phenomenal in this series against India as well.
Yeah.
So key players.
Key players. So for me, I guess, I know we were talking about Mark Wood. I still think, Mark Wood is the key player for England. Both teams have got very strong batting. Both teams have got reasonably strong bowling, but Mark Wood is the point of difference. He's the
Yeah,
one that can crank it up to 150, 155, as we saw in the T20 series. So for
yeah,
England, for me, it's Mark Wood. And for India, I think it's KL Rahul. I know he's had
yeah,
average time in the T20 series, but he's a class player,
yeah,
and maybe the opportunity to bat a little longer
yeah,
will help him get back into form.
yeah,
So yeah, Rahul and Mark Wood for me.
yeah. I think I'll go with one of Roy Base. I'll go Johnny Bairstow. Partly because if Kuldeep plays for India, I think this will be the the return or the revenge for Kuldeep after that World Cup game, which kind of was a game that shook India's balance
Yeah,
when they went for Kulja for like 2 years, and then that one game completely threw their plans off.
yeah.
So I
And
think,
and the impact of that can still be seen now,
yeah,
right? I don't
exactly,
remember the last time Chahal and Kuldeep played at the same in the same
exactly.
game in the same team. So
So especially if Kuldeep plays, it'll be good to see
yeah,
Bairstow how he counters him or takes him on again. Um, for India, I'm going to go with a very obvious standard pick, but it's Virat Kohli, only because I think this is in the ODI series, he will break his 100 duck or whatever,
Hopefully.
400 and how many X days he's gone.
Yeah, 2 years.
Without scoring 100, I think he will
Yeah.
get 100 in the.
Look, honestly, I know a lot of people have talked about the century drought, but it's only because it's Virat Kohli, and that's why we're talking about it. If this
Yeah.
was any other player, no one, like if this was a Root or a Smith or a
Yeah.
Williamson, you would have been like, oh, look at his average, look at his strike
Yeah.
rate. He's doing fine. But it's Virat Kohli. That's why we're saying, oh my God, it's been such a long time.
Yeah, and he hasn't played in a year or 9-8 months during that time anyway. But
Yeah, true.
but still, it's one that I guess will keep going on until he actually gets one. It's like Tendulkar getting his last 100, right? Where it just kept going on for a year, and so until he gets it, I think it'll just become. It starts off as banter, but then it does kind of get to you, I guess, after a while.
Yeah.
So I think he'll probably end that. Predictions?
Predictions. I'm going to go with 2-1 to England.
2-1. Oh, England.
England, yeah. Only because I just think that India might go in with 5 bowlers and the fifth one being Hardik Pandya, and that's where they might struggle. I mean, if you think about it, the likes of Bairstow and Butler will just murder bowling from Rohit or Shreyas Iyer or something like that. So I have a feeling that is the balance they'll go with, and I think that's why they probably lose the series. I think England are probably more drilled in. They've got 6 bowlers, and their 6th bowler is Ben Stokes, so that's freaking awesome. So yeah, just because of that balance, I mean, you can get away with it in T20s.
Yeah.
I personally still think that it's always better to have six bowling options.
Yeah, of course.
But they got away with it in the T20s, but I don't think they'll get away with it in the ODI.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same, and then for similar reasons. Especially, we mentioned, Kuldeep versus Roy and Bairstow, because if he gets smashed around the park 5 overs, 50 or something, then you have no one else to turn back to. So you have to make sure that he bowls 10 overs.
Yeah, true.
And even that backup, regardless of Pandya's fitness issues and whatever, right? So there will be that issue for India that they won't have, even if one of the main bowlers don't perform, they don't have a backup option.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think the team that wins the toss will win.
Well,
especially in an ODI, because it makes a big difference because of the dew factor and everything. I think it's less relevant in T20s because there's only a 1 hour gap. So that's why I think especially in an ODI, if you win the toss, bowl first, I think it'll make a big difference. You can chase down 350, 360 as well. So that's our episode. Thank you very much for watching. Let us know if you agree with our picks. Do you think England have the edge in the series? As always, please like, share, subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching.
Thank you.